So the question is how to let go. What is the practical application of everything that we've covered so far? What are the exact practical steps to letting go of that false assumption of scarcity that we've all bought into due to the way that we're conditioned? And what are the exact practical steps to letting go of everything that's built on it and everything that's reinforcing it, including, as we've previously discussed, all of our thoughts and emotions? And what we're going to be doing here is a form of meditation. It's a guided release. Remember, this is an inside job. It's primarily an inner journey. You must start with the cause, which is internal. However, it's different than the kind of meditation that's being pumped hard in the mainstream right now and the one that you're most likely accustomed to, where if you go on Google or YouTube right now and you're like, how to meditate, what are you going to hear? Here's the mainstream version. Sit down for 10 to 20 minutes. Just sit down comfortably and focus on the present moment. Focus on the now. Here's a mantra. Just focus on your mantra. Repeat your mantra. Try to be present for 20 minutes and do this daily. That's it. That's meditation 101. Sit down 20 minutes. Try to be present. Maybe have a mantra. Focus on that. And just do your 20 minutes every single day. Okay, and this here is a concentration-based meditation where you're ultimately just focused on the now or on the mantra. You're very concentrated, and this is what most people do. We're going to be doing something very different here, okay? Because if you think concentration-based meditation, what is that really? It's still an escape from yourself, where for 20 minutes, you're focusing on the now. For 20 minutes, you're focusing and concentrating on your mantra, and what happens when you're done? You're back with that experience of yourself. You're back with your baseline. It's like a 20-minute vacation. Let's just sit down for 20 minutes and focus on the now. 20 minutes, mantra, mantra, mantra. Oh, now I'm back with myself. Fuck. Okay, that's not the type of meditation that we're going to be doing here. That isn't to say that a concentration-based meditation does not have its benefits. I personally do what we're going to be doing here as well as the concentration-based meditation. That's helped me tremendously in terms of public speaking, holding a thought or being just very present and there for a longer period of time. It's what allows me to deliver information like this, to just be very concentrated and focused. You will get benefits. Your thoughts will not be as all over the place, okay? A little less ADD, but it doesn't get to the cause. It's a great tool, but it does not get to the cause. What we're going to be doing here is more of a mindfulness type of meditation, where instead of running away from and running towards the now or a mantra, we're going to be focusing on what it is we're running away from. It's more of an all-encompassing type of meditation, and this here is inspired by many different teachings, from the works of David Hawkins to Eckhart Tolle to pranic healing. There's a pranic breathing technique that I like to use, to some of the things that I learned from the energy coach I worked with a little while. I mean, I've really tried and tested everything, and this is what worked best for me personally and for everyone that I've taught it to. So that being said, the goal here with this guided release, as the title of this section suggests, is to give you proof. Okay, and what this means is don't aim for perfection. Do not aim to let go of everything. The goal is simply proof. Okay, it's to give you a glimpse of this state of abundance. Okay, to give you that proof that beneath it all, your default isn't scarcity. You've been telling yourself a lie. That is bullshit. It is abundance. Okay, that is all, because you must experience this for yourself. Don't just take my word for it. As we discussed before, you have to live this to realize it. That is how you buy in. It's not intellectual knowledge. It's real knowledge. It's not just an understanding, but a knowing. Okay, and to help with the buy-in here as well, what you will realize is that this is not some woo-woo hippy-dippy shit either. Okay, because that is something that turns off a lot of people. You hear spirituality, how to realize abundance, and immediately you're like, man, it's gonna be more woo-woo stuff about fifth dimensions and 11 dimensions and third eyes and all these mystical, magical things. No, okay, what you will realize here is that this is extremely straightforward. It is extremely practical. There's nothing woo-woo about it. There's nothing magical about it. Letting go is a natural ability that we all have. However, it's not something that we're used to doing. Okay, it's a new kind of process where it's not about accumulating, but dropping. You're hanging on that cliff, letting go of the cliff. It's not magical. You don't have to think in terms of like, oh, hippy dippy spiritual 20th dimensions to let go and this. No, you let go. It's a natural ability you have. It's just something you've probably never done before. Okay, and remember this, you can't grind your way to letting go. It's not something that you do. It's rather something that you don't do. Okay, it's not inaction, but there is no doing here. Okay, it's a very contemplative process. And it's important to understand here, as I mentioned in the beginning, that you can't use your mind either. You can't think your way into letting go. You can't figure it out. This is not a problem to be solved, as your mind is part of the problem. Okay, you have to let go of your mind entirely. If you try to use your head, if you try to think, I must let go mentally, it's not going to work. Okay, you must detach from your mind completely. You have to let go of all your thoughts, all your emotions. And there are 3 steps to letting go, which we're going to break down one by one in the following videos here before going through them together so that you really understand this process. The first step is be aware of what you want to let go of. The second step is allow yourself to experience it fully. And the third step is let it come up and let it out. So the first step is be aware of what it is you want to let go of. And what we're going to start by focusing on here is what you're presently experiencing. As you'll see in the next section, permanence. This can also be applied to anything that's buried in your subconscious. But for this guided release, for this exercise, let's just focus on what's going on right now. Okay, and in terms of what to be aware of, we're only, and this is key, we're only going to be focusing on different sensations. We're not going to focus on thoughts directly, and we're not going to be focusing on emotions directly, as both of those engage the mind, which is the last thing that we want to do, as we've previously discussed. If you bring awareness to a thought, what's going to happen? That thought is only going to breed more thoughts. That's the way our mind works. Think of one thing and a million similar things pop up. If I give you a situation like something scary, scary. Now you're thinking of, let's just say, haunted house. Now you're thinking of ghost. Now you're thinking of white. Now you're thinking of colors. Now you're thinking of a rainbow. It's endless. That's the way your mind works. It's repetitive. It's cyclical. If you focus on thoughts, if you start pursuing thoughts, you will be occupied forever. Okay? They're endless. They're self-reinforcing. You don't want to engage the mind. And with emotions, it's the same thing. You're still engaging the mind by labeling them. That's an emotion. I am sad. You feel something, your mind tells you, oh, you're sad. You feel something else. Your mind tells you you're happy. You feel something else. Your mind tells you you're angry, you're stressed, etc., etc. Okay, you label them, you judge them, you like them, you dislike them, you compare them, so on and so forth. Okay, the moment you interpret any experience, you personalize it as your experience. This is my experience of being happy or sad, and by interpreting it, you hang on to it. That's you identifying with it. You're still hanging on to it by engaging the mind. So what we're going to be bringing our awareness to here instead are the different sensations in our bodies. It's what comes before the mind kicks in and tries to interpret and explain them away. For example, tightness. Okay, a looseness or tightening of the muscles, a tingling, if you feel a little bit of a tingling, a knot in your stomach, a tightening of the gut, your heart rate, your body temperature, your breath, if you're breathing heavily or lightly, etc., etc. It's the data, if you will, that sends the signals to your mind, and then, of course, your mind interprets those, let's just say, that data as I'm sad, I'm stressed. You have a knot in your stomach, goes up to your mind, you then label it, judge it, interpret it, I am stressed. Okay, and an easy way here to distinguish between sensations and emotions is that with different sensations, you can always locate them in your body. If you're stressed, you're like, ooh, I have a knot in my stomach right here. With emotions, it's a lot more vague. It's like, I'm stressed. Where's the stress? Where is it precisely? It's a lot more vague. You can't locate them. You can't pinpoint them as directly, okay? And what you'll notice here is that once you bring awareness to different sensations, before your mind kicks in, if you let go of those directly, those are at the cause, if you will, you let go of those, you'll in turn let go of the associated emotion, and you'll let go of all the associated thoughts linked to that emotion. Okay, and this is what we're going to be focusing on here. So in terms of be aware of what it is you want to let go of, it's not mental awareness, it's not thinking, it's body awareness, it's feeling. And this isn't something that we're used to doing. Okay, most of us spend our entire lives living in our heads. We disconnect from the lower half of our bodies. We don't occupy our bodies fully. We don't want to feel, and we just live in our heads. That's all we know. We live a very conceptual, mental life. And we're conditioned this way. We're taught that it's not okay to feel, that feeling is unacceptable. This is one of the first things I teach guys when it comes to success with women, is how to get back in touch with their emotions. Because as a guy, especially when you're younger, and let's just say you're afraid, you're anxious, you're sad, what do people tell you? Man up. A real man is never afraid. A real man is never sad. A real man is never anxious. A real man is never stressed. You should not be feeling that. Suck it up, man up, don't feel that. You know, not feeling in our society is ultimately portrayed as a masculine virtue. Never feel. Like that's what we think the ideal guy is. Never feel. So we disconnect from those emotions. And we'll discuss this in terms of the way that we're conditioned. It goes so far that we don't just try to disconnect and run away from quote unquote bad emotions that we label as bad, but good ones too. Okay, the ideal life in our current society is no feelings. If you could just not feel, that's the goal. Wrong, okay? And this leads us into a downward spiral where, let's just say, for example, you feel bad. That emotion of feeling bad kicks in. And you're taught that you should not feel that. So not only do you now try to escape it, but then you start feeling bad about feeling bad. And then you start feeling even worse about feeling bad about the fact that you're feeling bad. If you feel anxious, suddenly you feel anxious about the fact that you're feeling anxious. If you're depressed, you feel depressed about the fact that you're depressed. And you just keep going down. It just gets worse and worse and worse. And eventually, and as I said, this is why a lot of us just live in our heads, it just leads to apathy. We just try to give up and suppress and disconnect from feeling as much as possible. And society encourages this. We're given an infinite amount of ways to avoid our emotions, to disconnect from them, be it distractions, be it drugs, pills, alcohol, medication, even different self-help techniques, like just always be positive, focus on the positive affirmations, never feel bad, be positive all the time, okay? In coping, you know, it's best not to feel. In our society, it's encouraged not to feel. It's like, hey, we're all coping, let's just fucking not feel. We're taught to run away from feeling and ultimately be numb to ourselves. This, as a little side note too, is in my opinion one of the reasons why a lot of people eat extremely unhealthy or don't have a very balanced diet or get out of shape or are overweight. It's on one hand, they're running away from something, it's their way of coping with it, but on the other, they're not present enough in their bodies that they don't receive the signals that they're eating too much or that they're not eating food that is beneficial to them. You know, if you're only in your head, all you get is that first little sensory hit. You're like, a McDonald's burger. You get the little high, and then you're back to living in your head, and you don't feel the full effect of the food because you're not inhabiting your body. Suddenly, if you start, living in your body, if you start feeling more, you'll see that you eat that, and then right after you just feel dragged down, and it's not something that just adds to your energy. It doesn't give you life, let's just say. And then you'll actually be inspired to want to eat healthy. You don't just look at food for the little high you get, initially putting it into your mouth. And guess what? You change that, you learn how to feel, now you're inspired to eat healthy. It's not something you need to force yourself to do. Similar with people who get extremely sick all the time. If you live in your body, if you inhabit your body, you'll pick up on those signals before you have to like lie in bed for a whole week. Because your body's giving you signals like, hey, you're going a little too hard here. You better slow down. You better slow down. Jeez, this guy's still not fucking listening. Sickness to the point where you have to lie down and have to listen to your body. Okay? This all comes from just body awareness, learning how to feel. And this is something that I also see at live events all the time. When I bring people up on stage and I create this environment where it's okay to feel, it gets emotional very fucking fast. Like scary fast. Because again, for the first time, they're provided with an environment where it's okay to feel. It's like, hey, it's okay. Really? Is it okay? Oh my God. And all this stuff they've been running away from, suppressing, trying to disconnect from, can finally be acceptable, and it just comes rushing out. Okay, and it just shows, again, we live in this world where it's not okay to feel, and just how in need of it we really are.
While you were doing your thing with him just now, I was going along with it in my own mind, and it kind of made me realize what's been fucking me up my entire life. I was actually just crying. Would you mind if I came up with
Yeah, of course.
So basically, when I was in high school, I was 13 years old. Holy shit, I'm crying already. I was diagnosed with cancer, and this fucked up my entire high school to the point where people were bullying me, no one liked me, everything was fucked.
You don't have to hold in the tears, by the way. It's like, again, here's that one place where it's like, be there for yourself. It's like, if you've been suppressing that and holding it back for so long, if you feel like crying, like, fuck man, let it out. Like, this is it.
Basically, my entire high school was a fucking mess where I had no friends and no one liked me. And then I got to college, and for some reason I meet this girl, this beautiful girl who, for some miraculous reason, ends up wanting to be my girlfriend. I fell madly in love with her, and for the first time in my life is complete. I feel like a normal person, and just to break my heart in a million ways, and I'm completely fucked again. And I think the whole reason why I keep self-sabotaging at everything in life is because I don't feel like I deserve to be happy like everyone else, because I've never felt like a normal person in that way. And my voice is fucked, so that's making it worse.
That's fine. Don't judge yourself for that.
And I just realized that while you were doing this thing with him, it's like, this has been what's been fucking me up for my entire life, I think. And that was pretty much it.
Awesome.
All right. Yeah, dude. So understanding this, the first step to being aware of what it is you want to let go of is to learn how to feel again. It's to denumb yourself to yourself, to relearn body awareness, to relearn how to inhabit your body fully, to get back in touch with your inner world, your inner experience, and to stop running away from and abandoning yourself. Okay? Realize here and understand that feeling isn't bad. We've simply mislabeled it. Sensations, what's going on inside, all of that is good and necessary. You have to become okay with that again. The goal here is not to escape feeling, because even with enlightenment, that's what we think. Oh, we escape the bad feelings, always positive, always in bliss. It still is like labeling, like, that's all bad. Sensations, what you're feeling, it's not bad. Let that sink in. Without them, you wouldn't be able to survive. Without this data, you would not survive. Sensations, feeling, is what gives you the feedback necessary to survive and function. Okay? They're what lead you in the right direction in life, what get you in touch with your basic needs. If you're not aware of what your body needs, you can't take care of it. If you're a man and you feel anxious, you're afraid, or you're hurt, it's not like, oh my God, I feel afraid, I'm hurt, something is wrong with me, I should not be feeling this. No, okay? On the contrary, that means that nothing is wrong with you. That's your body sending you valuable information. If you ignore pain, if you ignore fear, if you ignore hurt, if you ignore anxiety, you would not be able to survive. Okay, and what's important to realize here too is that these feelings, they don't last forever. Remember, we live in a world of duality. They come and go. That's the way your body works. It'll send the information up, and you can receive the information and act on it if necessary, but then it's gone. Here's the information, now it's gone. You received it, good to go. What happens though is that we basically resist it. We refuse to receive it. And that's why they persist. Okay, whatever you resist persists. You hang on to pain, you hang on to fear by resisting them. And that's the lives that people live. Oh my God, anxious, fear, resist it. It keeps staying there. Let me keep trying to escape it, and it just stays there, and I try to escape it forever. Okay, you will find that suffering is not the result of feeling pain. We think, I must escape pain. Pain is bad. No, it's the result of resisting feeling pain. They only stay if you resist them. They only stay if they are reinforced. Okay, and instead of avoiding them, instead of resisting them, you must learn to be okay with them. Okay, and you'll see that once you accept them, once you embrace them, they will naturally run their course and disappear. And to add some incentive here as well, in terms of being open to feel again, and this is also something that I teach guys when it comes to success with women, is that until you develop this empathy with yourself, until you are open to feeling what you're feeling, until you stop abandoning yourself, you're never going to be able to develop empathy for someone else. Until you know yourself, until you're there for yourself, you can't know and be there for someone else. And this will ruin all of your relationships. Okay, so commit to feeling, commit to life. Start living in the state of openness. Whatever's going on inside, that's you. That is part of you. Stop trying to cut that off. Stop running away from yourself. Be there for yourself. And of course, this takes courage. It's not easy. But again, a life of no feeling really is no life at all. And you think that you'll avoid, let's just say, pain by withdrawing from the sensations, but you won't. It'll still find you, in a much more painful but indirect way. There is no avoiding it. Pain, try to resist it, it's going to stay there. It'll lead to isolation, loneliness. You try to avoid pain, guess what? As I discussed, now you can't form relationships. Now you're disconnected. Now you're alone. Loneliness too from not knowing yourself, not being connected to your needs, not knowing what you want, just being lost in the state of apathy. You think apathy, I'll avoid it all, I don't need to feel, but it's worse. And if you keep ignoring it, what you'll notice too is that there's just going to be so much tension, resistance, that it'll find you in the form of a physical problem or symptom. Again, a lot of health issues due to this. Okay, so be open to feeling. You'll probably have to go through layers of resistance. Keep in mind here that resistance, there are different sensations to that as well. So when going through this guided release, if there's a lot of resistance to feeling, tune into those sensations first. Let go of the resistance and then drop into the feelings and let go of that. And some good daily habits to help with this, which I would also recommend doing, are 1, start doing check-ins throughout the day. This is where you take some time to yourself to snap out of the endless activity. We're always on the go. Just a few times throughout the day, just stop for a few moments and do a quick body scan. Give yourself a few moments to feel. Ask yourself, what's going on right now? Get out of your head, get into your body. What are the different sensations going on? Is there life in my arm? Is there life in my leg? Is there life in my body? Or is everything just bottled up and stuck up here? Practice coming back into your body. Stop thinking and start just feeling for a little bit. Just a few times a day. Just start doing that. It might be difficult at first. Again, there's that resistance. Learn to feel that resistance. And you'll see after a while, it'll feel a little bit more okay to feel that resistance. And it'll be a little bit more okay to feel maybe more than just resistance. Something that helps as well, and this is something that I personally did, and it's a little out there, but it forces you to start bringing awareness to your body, is say you're at home alone, just walk around with your shirt off. Again, a little out there, but if you just walk around with your shirt off, you're going to find yourself being more aware of your body versus hiding under the clothes. This helped me bring more awareness to how I feel, and really helped in terms of getting in shape, because I couldn't just block it off. Like, here's the clothes, let me just eat. It's like, oh, here's the clothes. This is me. This is all of me. I'm not just this, upper little mental experience. Another good practice is yoga. That was a big one for me as well, where through yoga, it forces you to start focusing on your breathing, on the sensations, being alive here. It's like, what's going on? Bring your awareness here, bring your awareness here, bring your awareness to this movement. Breathe to the different movements. It forces you to get out of your head. Okay, so yoga is a big one, whatever, again, practice you resonate with, you connect with. And what you'll see too is what I personally like doing during these types of guided releases, during this meditative exercise, is to bring my awareness to the base of my spine. Okay, this is also known, if you want to get a little out there, is the root chakra or the basic chakra. It's the place, let's just say in your body, that really establishes a deep connection with what's going on inside. It's your center point, if you will. And what I personally like to do during the release is bring my awareness from being here in my head thinking, just bringing it and visualizing it going down my spine, all the way down, and then just resting at the base of my spine. And I'll start breathing from there. I'll start operating from there. Like, that's where I'm now grounded at. And this here will really deepen that connection with what's going on inside. It'll initiate, physical presence, if you will. And to really help with it, I also combine this with that pranic breathing technique, where you inhale for 6 counts, and I won't inhale bringing my awareness here. It's from the base of my spine. I inhale for 6 counts, hold for 3, exhale for 6 counts, hold for 3. And I make a shh sound when exhaling. I personally find that just vocalizing the breath helps move things if there's any tightness, any stuckness, and doing this kind of deep breathing from that core, from the base of your spine, just really moves my attention just out of my head and into my body, and it quiets my mind like no other. Like, I've tried everything, and this here, bringing my awareness down to the base of my spine and doing that pranic breathing technique from there, vocalizing the breaths, my mind's gone. Like, I'm no longer thinking. It completely gets me out of my head. As I mentioned before, you can't use your mind to let go. You can't think your way to letting go. And this is what's interesting, is that you can't think your way to not thinking, because you're still thinking. You can't use the mind to quiet the mind. So this is what helps me with it. It works wonders. It's like the magical technique to it. And as a final note here too, on this first step, is that what you'll notice is that most of the sensations will be in your stomach and chest area, and never force them either. It's very easy to be like, okay, where are the sensations? Force them to come up. No, just simply bring your awareness in your body, being open to feel again, and simply wait and just feel what shows up on its own. Let those sensations be offered up to you. This is the first step to letting go. The second step is allow yourself to experience it fully, because what you will realize is that as soon as you start becoming aware of those different sensations in your body, as soon as you start feeling again, the first reflex you will have is to immediately try to do something about it. You're like, ooh, the different sensations, let's do something to let go of them. Let's do something to get rid of them. Let's do something to change them. Don't. Okay, there's nothing you need to do. There's nothing you need to change. There's nothing you need to fix. There's nothing you need to understand. There's nothing you need to grasp. There's nothing you need to make sense of. All you have to do is experience it fully. Okay, and this is big. Letting go does not mean fixing something. It does not mean changing something. It does not mean getting rid of something. It does not mean making sense of something. Letting go is accepting something and experiencing it fully. Because if you feel that sensation, you're like, ooh, I must let go of that, and you try to get rid of it, or you try to change it, what's the implication? That it's something bad. You label it as bad. You label it as something that needs to get out of there. Let's get rid of it. But by labeling it as bad, you're now resisting it. You're now hanging on to it. You can't let go of it that way. The only way to let go of it is to accept it, welcome it, experience it fully. Don't get rid, embrace and accept. And don't try to mentally make sense of it first. There's nothing you need to mentally understand, because that's an obstacle to letting go as well. It's like, whoa, the sensations, what do they mean? Once I grasp their meaning, their mental message, I can finally let go of them. No, there's nothing you need to mentally grasp. And also, there's nothing you need to understand first in order to validate a certain feeling. Okay? An experience that you have, those sensations are simply valid because you're having them, because you're feeling them, okay? Not because of what they mentally mean. And this is also why it's important to really disconnect your mind. If you're thinking, immediately you're trying to make sense of, you're like, whoa, what does this mean? Before I accept it as a feeling. No, they're just there. Embrace them. Don't hang on to them. Don't fear them. Don't feel guilty about them. Stop trying to suppress them. If they come up, don't be like, oh my God, that's even worse. Try to suppress them. You let go by accepting it, by being with it fully and unconditionally. Okay, you welcome it without having any kind of agenda, without trying to control, avoid, sedate. Truly experience it, observe it, feel it, without even needing it to change. And that's how you let go. And what you will notice is that it will start changing on its own. Open yourself fully to what you're feeling. Sink into it, settle into it. Give those sensations the message that you are there for them fully, that you are there experiencing them fully, that you care about what's going on inside, that you're ready to listen to what's going on inside, that you're no longer abandoning them, abandoning yourself. You are there for them. And this is when you really just drop into them. Breathing into them helps as well, which is another reason I love that pranic breathing technique. Be with them fully. And again, they'll start transforming on their own. There's nothing you need to do. Be with them and let them run their course versus stopping them from running their course by hanging on to them. Okay, another lie we tell ourselves is that we have to always do something to change the way we feel. No. And that's also reinforced in the traditional self-help world. It's like, oh, if you feel bad, do this. If you feel this, do this to change it. Without like, hey, guess what? Experience it, it'll change. They won't last forever. They come and go if you let go of your resistance to feeling. Nothing is permanent, okay? Sensations change, they mature, they run their course, they change their direction, their aim, their intensity, their nature. You just have to allow them to do so. Give them the space to do so. Give them the attention to do so. That's the second step here. And don't expect them to change in a certain way, because it's easy to be like, okay, I'll experience them fully, change, get better. They may get, quote unquote, worse. Don't have any kind of agenda. Just be open to it and just let them run their course, whatever that course may be. And finally, the last step here is let it come up and let it out. And this is when you allow those sensations to run their course and eventually reach their natural end, which is they leave, they disappear. Okay, they eventually fade into the nothingness out of which they came in the first place. And I want to emphasize this as well. Not only will these sensations change and transform and mature on their own, they will also leave on their own. There's nothing you need to do. They want to leave. Allow them to do so. Give them the space to do so. Experience them so that they can mature and disappear. And what I like to do here as well, using that pranic breathing technique combined with visualization, is I visualize those sensations coming up and coming out. Okay, and when I say visualization here, as a little side note, it's not necessary. However, I find it helpful. and I'm not visualizing them mentally, trying to paint a mental picture like, ooh, the sensations look like this. It's more so I'm bringing up my awareness with them. I combine that too with the shh sound when exhaling them and allowing them to pass through and leave. As I said before, it helps with any kind of stuckness, any tension. It just kind of helps loosen things up, okay? And this is how you let go. And what you'll notice is that as soon as they run their course, the sensations will change and you will experience relief. Things will feel a lot lighter. All that energy, all that effort hanging on, resisting, when you let go, you just feel again like a weight's been lifted. You're no longer holding on, and this is how you do it. Make sure you're in an environment where there are no external distractions, where no one can interrupt you. Make sure your notifications are off on your phone, on your computer. Really create an environment where you can be there for yourself 100%. And I personally like to do this sitting down in a chair, and I'd recommend doing the same with your back straight. Okay, don't lean back. Keep your back straight in order to stay alert, okay, to stay present, and place both of your hands on your lap, palms facing down, close your eyes, and let's begin. So the first step is be aware of what you want to let go of. And this is going to be what you're presently experiencing, okay, the different sensations in your body right now. So let's start by getting you out of your head. And to do so, I want you to visualize that chatterbox between your ears, okay, that little voice always yapping about, labeling, judging, comparing, what's going on here? Am I doing this right? Is this going to work for me? How does this compare to how I usually meditate? How long is this going to take? Do I have plans after this? Okay, that little voice there, I want you to visualize it changing locations and moving all the way down to the base of your spine. This is also known as your root chakra or basic chakra, and this is the place that establishes a deep connection with your physical body. Okay, so bring your awareness down there. Visualize that voice slowly moving down your spine and then resting at the bottom. You're not thinking from there, breathing from there, and things are a little bit quieter. Things are a little bit lighter. Now let's go ahead and lock in that position by doing 3 cycles of pranic breathing, where you're going to inhale through your nose for the count of 6, hold it for 3, and then exhale for 6, making a shh sound, and then holding for 3 again. So starting at the base of your spine, inhale for the count of 6 right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold for 3, 2, 3. Exhale for 6. Shh. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold for 3 again. 2, 3. Breathe normally. Let things settle. We're going to do another cycle. Here we go. Inhale for 6 starting now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold for 3, 2, 3. Exhale for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold for 3 again. 3. Breathe normally again. And one more, getting present in your body. Inhale for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold for 3, 2, 3. Exhale for 6. Shh. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold for 3 again. 2, 3. Breathe normally. Let it all settle. You're now operating from the base of your spine. You're thinking from there, breathing from there. You're out of your head, and you're in your body. Now, I want you to tune into your stomach and chest area and start being aware of the different sensations going on.
And let's see if anything is stirred up. Okay, if there are any tensions, if there's any tightness, any discomfort, any upsets, start noticing all the sensations. Okay, don't judge them, don't label them. You're in your body right now. You're simply feeling them. And what I want you to do is allow yourself now to experience them fully. And this is the second step. I want you to stay with those sensations and really sink into them. Let them take over. Don't try to fix them or change them or try to make sense of them and try to understand them. There's nothing to fix, change, or understand here. All you have to do is surrender to what's going on. Surrender to those sensations. Give them the message that you're completely there with them unconditionally, that you're 100% open to experience them. And let's take a few moments here to really be with them and keep breathing from the base of your spine and let them take over. Surrender. Sink into them even more. Breathe into them. Be with them fully. Okay, one more breath. And let's now move into the third and final step, which is let it all come up and let it out. And this is what we're going to do now. Okay, I want you to invite all of those sensations to come up. Remember, they want to leave. They want to run their course and reach their natural end and disappear. We just have to invite them to and stop hanging on to them by resisting them. Okay, so what you're going to do here is 3 more cycles of pranic breathing, really breathing into these different sensations. But this time, with each inhale, I want you to visualize them coming up, and with each exhale, making that shh sound, I want you to visualize them passing through you, letting them out. So tune into them, okay, whatever's stirred up inside, and bring it all up now. Inhale for the count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold for 3, 2, 3. Exhale for 6, letting it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold for 3, 2, 3. Breathe normally again. Now there's probably some more down there. Let's tune into it and bring it all up now. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold for 3, 2, 3. And let it all out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold for 3, 2, 3. Breathe normally. Now let's tune into it again for one last cycle. Let's bring it all up now. Anything that's left, bring it up. Inhale for the count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold for 3, 2, 3. And let it all out. Send it out, let it go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold for 3, 2, 3. Breathe normally. Let things settle. Bring your awareness back into your body and just notice things being even more lighter. There's a feeling of relief, like a weight's been lifted. And let's just stay there for a few moments. Let yourself experience this relief, this lightness, this new experience of yourself. And right now, in this moment, all is good. All is perfect. You can feel finally at peace. We're going to do one more cycle of pranic breathing from the base of your spine. Inhale for the count of 6, starting now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold for 3, 2, 3. Exhale for 6. Shh. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold for 3, 2, 3. Breathe normally. And we're going to get ready to come back now. Okay, start slowly moving your body a little. Start moving your fingertips. Start moving your feet. Bring your awareness back to your surroundings. And get ready to slowly open your eyes right now. And this is how you let go. It's not magical. It's not woo-woo. It's extremely straightforward, and it's a natural ability that we all have and that we all can do. We just never do it, and we were never taught how to do it. And I do want to reinforce here that this is something that you do have to do, okay? Because it can seem simple, like, it's very straightforward, I can talk about this forever, but as you experienced here, you can't just talk about it. You have to go through it. Okay, you must experience this firsthand. And this is something that I'd recommend doing on a daily basis. I've included a section here below with guided releases. There's a guided morning release and a guided evening release. And we're also going to go even deeper here in the following section in terms of letting go of what's buried deep down inside your subconscious.